Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I'm here by myself. Yes, Jill Simonello, managing editor, is off doing Rebel Rally information. I thought, you know what? I will edit this little thing. Is at Rebel Rally Training. Welcome to the podcast. Listen to podcast. Listen to a blog podcast last week, driving across from Nebraska back to from Michigan. And yeah, I appreciate you guys on the podcast. Appreciate you guys in person. My cheeks are fire engine red at the moment. I have been drinking, yes, but not that much. We have no AC. The AC gets installed tomorrow. It's like 90 some degrees or 85 degrees here in the house, I should say, about that range. So, yes, I'm just saying that if you see my cheeks are red, it's not my fault. It is the air conditioner not working. And again, tomorrow we have air conditioner. I do want to give a special shout out before we get too much further into this live stream that I'm thinking about our friend of the channel, Gene. Gene lives in Florida. And in Florida, they are expecting a massive hurricane Idalia actually going through Clearwater Beach. And Gene lives south of that. And so my thoughts are out for Gene and those people who live in the area. Eric T. Tung is here. He's a great guy. Kevin's here from Lakeland, Florida. Kevin, my goodness, I hope you have a good night. The hurricane looks pretty intense. And alternation here is Dave Boyd is here, who bought a new Mustang, who's been showing up his new pony car, by the way. It's kind of interesting. Jason's here as well. So I just want to, like I said, give a shout out to those in Florida. I'm thinking about you guys. That Category 3 hurricane going through, and that's a massive deal. And then, like I said, Jill's out of the office, and I'm hot and bothered by no AC. So again, tomorrow, fantastic tomorrow. Let's get to some news. Where's this share screen button? And I'm going to put this up. So we have some news on pickuptrucktalk.com. You haven't figured it out. You're looking at if you're at a rest stop, by the way, been at many rest stops last couple of days. If you're at a rest stop, pull up our website. You have a little time to kill. Trust me. Go to the website, pickuptrucktalk.com, read the story. This is kind of a crazy story. Let's dig into this a little bit. So, new F-150 Lobo coming. So, if you know about obscure truck facts, the F-150 is called Lobo in Mexico. And so it's like Ford Lobo Raptor, Ford Lobo Lariat trim or whatever. I mean, that's how they refer to it. And so there's a report saying May new sport truck coming. And so, yeah, we have some details from the drive.com that reports another website that I don't report on anymore because I don't like the person. Need more details? You can't have them. Anyways, the drive.com says the version F-150 will be offered with a lower suspension with a sinister and aggressive styling. Could be introduced next month when a new Ford F-150 makes its debut during the North American International Auto Show, which I'll be there, by the way, on September 13th and 14th. So, yes, a new F-150 is making debut next month. I've heard rumors about being just a hybrid only, doing a power boost new version, whatever. I don't know. I will be there in person next month for that event. So I will bring in details from that by live stream or whatever, because F-150 is kind of a big deal. So Lobo. So Lobo could be the new sport truck. Remember sport trucks 1980s? Actually, 1990s actually was more sport truck. Regular cab, short bed, big V8 sport truck. Lobo translates into wolf in Spanish. Been sold there since the 1990s. And speculation comes from the U.S.-based. It's an Ford filing a patent to protect the name F-150 Lobo with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So that's interesting that they would use that language together in a patent and trademark office. So you have the patent information. You have a new truck coming out. It just fuels speculation like you wouldn't believe. And so there's some conversation about maybe they look at like the popular Tremor package. Remember Tremor package? Has the orange, a little bit more skid plates. I think it's got more skid plates, different tires, whatever. And then talking about doing that, could do SMT Lightning. This one is not electric version, folks, by the way, not electric Lightning. 7.4 second 0-60 time and top speed 110 miles an hour, which I will let you know that trucks go faster these days, 110 miles per hour. Just saying, I might have done that. So I'm gonna think if they do it, if they do it, I have some tongue in cheek on this deal because I don't know if they're gonna do it. Tongue in cheek, maybe yeah, insert your own line there. A high output 3.5 liter V6 like they would the Raptor, 10-speed automatic transmission like the Ford Raptor. You like the supercharged V8 like do the Raptor R, but price point would be a concern of mine. My friend Caleb Jacobs over at Drive and I kind of disagree on this. I said it's going to be offered in two-wheel drive only to cut weight, make it quicker for the line. He thinks it'll be done in four-wheel drive since most truck buyers want four-wheel drive. I don't know. Jacobs and I kind of disagree on that. He's a good guy, though. I would suggest it's a similar version of the F-150 Rattler, the Raptor, bare bones, four-wheel drive, XL, cloth seats, skid plates, and rear locker. They also offer an off-road focused F-250 XL Super Duty with skid plates, bigger tires, and rear locker for work customers. So you could see them doing that in a different kind of a truck. I'm going to guess about it's going to be two-wheel drive, crew cab only. I don't see them doing regular cab, but maybe I'm wrong. I'll put V6 coming in $55,000. Full stop. They can do that. It'd be fun to do some smoky burnouts like Dave doing in All Terrain Nation. And yeah, pop me in. Oh, Dave wants to pop in. Dave wants to pop in. I'm sorry, Dave. I will hook you up there, Dave. I'm going to stop, remove screen. This is private information, boys and girls. Private information. I can't share details with you. If I do, I'll be shot by the YouTube police. So, hold on. I'm going to invite Dave. Just a second down there, guys. All right, Dave, check your Facebook. All right, so there we go. That is the Ford Lobo. Marky Mark's here from Colorado. Do you remember, Marky Mark, do you remember the Governor Bill Owens? I lived in Colorado when Bill Owens was there, and he was like, Colorado. Oh, Cybertruck's here. What's up, Tim? You're going to take a road trip with me to Austin to pick up a new Cybertruck in a few weeks? Can I ask you a question there, Cybertruck? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm gonna pull up here. I'm going to ask you a question. You stay right there. I haven't changed. I haven't did your comment. I want to know about this. I'm going to find it. Hold on. Hold your knickers. So, Cybertruck, while I have you in line, because, yeah, I'm going to bring Dave in. Dave, hold on. I'm picking a Cybertruck here. Cybertruck, WTF is this? This is a Cybertruck dressed up like a new Toyota Tundra. So, Cybertruck, what is Tesla doing here trolling people? Oh, I got an ad placement. Ads playing. Sorry, ads placement. But yeah. So, what the hell is up with this green Cybertruck that looks like, what was the ad? It looks like a Tundra, new generation Tundra with a wrap. So what is Elon doing? Their Ford Mustang Pony Boy, which I have to say, Dave, I was watching a video, best video you've ever done, flat out.
Thank you.
Full stop. And B, I am still not convinced it's easy to get out of that Mustang as you make it sound.
Well,
like I stop, rewind it, I stop, play it again, stop, rewind it, play it again. So I don't do Mustangs, Camaros, and Corvettes in this channel because, well, I'm not very limber at all.
Well, then you'd have to add letters to your name, and it'd be a whole new thing, right?
Right. Plus this, plus that, plus this,
plus a couple cars.
I thought, when I named this channel, I was like, oh, look, it's plus. It's easy, right? People are like, and I'm like, what the hell is a plus sign and?
Right. No, I love the trolling, man. I love the fact that they did the F-150 a couple weeks ago, and now they're doing, this. They're having fun. Tesla, Elon especially, is just about having fun. Like, he likes to poke the bear. He has pretty good sense of humor, whether you agree with everything he does or not. The guy, he's one of the kings of trolls. Like, he likes to poke the bear, and now it's pretty hideous looking in this form, but
God, is it?
Who cares, man? I just like that they're actually, for one, building this thing. And, people love to pick on Tesla because, it's taken forever. Well, they dropped it like several months before COVID hit. And they don't have the budgets of Ford to drop a new truck, every couple years. Like, it's taken a while, but I'm happy to see this thing here, and I want to ride in one really badly.
What I don't understand is why did they make it look better, right? So the Cybertruck looks terrible at stainless steel. Stainless steel is just a terrible idea. I'm sorry, Cybertruck. Sorry.
Well, didn't DeLorean learn from this?
Yes. I mean, come on. So at least it looks better, right? People are asking me all the time, like, so Cybertruck, what colors can I get in that? I'm like, well, you can get one.
Yeah. Well, I think they're counting on people wrapping these things, honestly. I mean, I think maybe that's part of what they're doing here is going, hey, you can have it any color you want as long as you pay for it after you buy it.
Yeah, it's the old Ford thing, right? So, Henry Ford, you say, you can have a Model T you want, long as it's in black,
Yeah. Right.
right? So
And
then you're gonna wrap it, do your thing. Okay, all right. Maybe I give the wrap, right? So yes. Chris Callahan has a comment here, and I'm just curious about how your viewpoint on this is. The Mustang isn't very good at all terrain.
well, I had a lot of people ask me that today, and my channel is not exclusively trucks, though trucks are the most interesting thing we talk about. But no, I did have somebody that's like, "Hey, is there any goat modes to this thing so you can go?" I said, "I can't find the lockers in it yet. I've looked." But no, the whole thing, and I know that we don't want to derail your show, man, but the whole thing with the car was I want to experience what I feel like will be the last big V8 in a Mustang. I think Ford has, I think Jim Farley's learned that EV's not ready yet after his road trip across America. I don't know, Tim, if you paid much
What
attention to
a
that.
I what a disaster that was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I appreciate him doing that. Like he, out of all the CEOs right now, I mean, Elon's fun, but I will say Farley seems to be the guy that he's kind of a man of the people a little bit. Now, they're all execs and they're all, they're all they don't want their behinds to get too dirty. But I appreciate a guy willing to take that thing across America and figure out, damn, we might have some more problems than we know.
Yeah, I mean, at least he did that. I agree. I would love to be in a road trip with him. Like, so you're the CEO of Ford.
Mhm.
You go to the gas station. You charge up your gas station, whatever. Charge up your Lightning. You have
Yeah.
to walk across your gas station. And I was just in the I-80 has the Iowa's biggest gas station. There's chargers across the street from it. You plug your charger and walk over
Right.
this over or whatever. I want to. My point of this is I'm derailing myself completely. My point of this is like, what snacks does Mark get?
Ooh,
Ooh,
man.
yeah, right? Is he a potato
Yeah.
chip guy? Is he grabbing the slushy? Like, I mean, I want that'd be my story. Like, these are the snacks that he got on the trip. Not Mark, but Mark
Yeah.
feels the little one, but the Jim Farley.
Yeah, I think, well, for one, he's gonna watch his figure just a little bit because these guys, they can't come out like me or you a little bit on the chunky side. So
What are you
they get
trying to say?
I'm just saying our bodies right now seem to be matching.
I'm
So
gonna put
I'm
you on
just
mute here in a minute.
but no, but yeah, no, I mean, I think they had fun. I think he took his son with him or something on this road trip, and like I said, Tim, it's you're not going to see GM's CEO out there doing anything, and I think it's good for a CEO to do this. And of course, we know Elon was poking at Tesla. He will get out in these things and ride around and just see what they're like. But I think the corporate world's so full of yes people that maybe after a while, maybe they need to go actually experience the vehicle how most of America would. And this past weekend when I picked up my Mustang, I was up in Brighton Ford in Michigan, and they had a Lightning in there. They had a Lariat Lightning, and I sat in it, and I haven't. That's the one truck I really haven't got to do much time in. So I was kind of checking it out, and I appreciate that Ford really actually tried to make it look like an F-150. I think the only thing Ford is actually missing on that vehicle is range. I think the range is horrible, and I think they'll fix it. I think in 2 years, I think we're supposed to get a refresh. So I
Well,
like the truck.
there's some chemistry issues there in play as well. I don't know. It's and it's gotten so expensive.
Hey,
So
speaking of batteries, I was in Spring Hill, Tennessee, where GM has a huge plant. It's the old Saturn plant here locally, and they have their Ultium battery plant kicking in, and I've never seen anything so massive in my life. And then I drove through Kentucky and just north of Bowling Green, they've got a Blue Oval, the SK deal, the battery plant going on
yeah,
there.
right. The big,
These
yeah, yeah.
things these things, we're talking about environmentally friendly. They aren't when you have to build the plants for them because these plants are massive, man. I don't know what it takes to build
Mhm.
one. I want to tour one so bad just to see why.
So I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna go off the rails a little bit on this, but um, you said your Mustang was 55,000.
57,000. Actually, $57,015.
So that's a V8 Coyote Mustang,
Mhm.
57.5, somewhere in that range. Is that the most loaded up version you can get?
No, no, they're actually you could get Magna Ride and a couple other things for the GT, or you would go right into the Dark Horse. But I wanted to experience what I felt like was the car of the people, kind of where I thought the sweet spot is. At no point would I ever want to own the 2.3 in that thing. I think it defeats I know why Ford offers a small engine in that thing, but I think it defeats for me the purpose of a V8 pony car. Take me back to the '60s kind of feel. But no, I think I hit a sweet spot. Now you can get them cheaper, but I wanted a premium package, so you get the big Brembo brakes and kind of all the fun to the car.
Right. So you bought a Nissan Titan.
Mhm.
You bought the Ford Bronco. You bought the Jeep Wrangler.
Mhm.
So when people say to you, "Hey, trucks are getting so expensive," based on your experience, what do you say?
Well, so my Titan was, let's see, I bought that in 17. Yeah, 17, I think. It was 53,000 is what that truck was. V8 Pro 4X, rear
Right.
locker, all the features. There was the thing about the imports, they don't really offer a ton of options to add on to these things. So you kind of get either you get the truck or you don't. And then let's see, the Bronco right now, it was 54,000. Last week on our Bronco show, which is right after your show, we priced out a current one, and it would be about $62,000 for that same one that I bought almost 2 years ago. So you can see that's increased. Of course, you look at the Titan, probably hasn't increased much because it's not popular. We know it's dead. The Bronco's been very popular for Ford, so yeah, they're going to increase that. And then we had every dealership out there marking up these things. So Ford's like, why would we allow these? If people was willing to pay it, why are we going to let the dealerships have it? No, we'll just jack our prices up, and that's our money. And and with the Mustang now, I think the Mustang is kind of a bargain. I mean, if you want something fun, and there's a lot of, you were talking about V8 fun trucks, the
Mhm.
Lobo and stuff. There's a lot of fun vehicles out right now, and I think especially if you are not willing to go easily into EV, this is our last hurrah of like I really feel like you know you want it, it's out there. Go get it because in maybe 10 years, you don't get to have these vehicles anymore. So, if you can afford it, go have fun. And I like to buy these things because I want ownership into my videos a little bit. We do press trips, and I said this in today's video.
Ooh, wait, good
This
point.
Well,
Elon
for
Manning
now,
says, and now they got rid of the base Bronco. So,
but that's only for this year. Trust
cool.
me, inside sources have told me that is only for they're going to remove a couple other trims, but the base comes back.
Okay.
So, but I think that if you buy the vehicles yourself, kind of like what you've done with the trucks you buy, there's ownership in it. There's I'm going to live with these vehicles for at least 6 months. And I think that's the best way to do it. We do press trips, Tim. You know how, me and you were at the Ranger thing together. You get a short time to, you got to hit all the high points. You don't really get to find any low points. So when I do this, I'm looking for low points of the car. What's the good and the bad? And I already have, me and you were talking offline last night, and I was saying, I'm going to copy your 5 good things. And you were like, no, what you need to do is 4.5. So I actually have a
Exactly.
half. I'm working on the video idea in my head right now of the half bad thing that I can talk about.
Yeah, you can't steal my thunder there, bro. As my kids say, bro.
Well, maybe I do
Um,
6.5. I've went up here.
no, I think I'd tell you that I've done this job now for over a decade. What am I at? 12 years, 6, 7, 8, whatever the deal is. 15 years this year, whatever. And I will tell you, press trips. People think about like, oh, you went on vacation, you did this and that. Press trips are stressful. They are annoying, and they're musts. And so I have a couple of this next month. I'll be gone for a week in September, and I'll be gone for 4 days in September. So we've gone quite a bit. And so
I
that you
think
don't get a
people
sip of the stuff. So you don't get the full experience. When you buy a vehicle, you learn a whole lot of different things. And hold on, I got to give a shout out to Gene.
Hey,
Gene is
Gene.
in that, yeah, he's in the hurricane path. So thoughts and prayers there, Gene.
It
Get
looks
some
pretty
cover.
calm from his profile picture.
It
I don't know,
does,
Gene.
yeah. But 1969, Gene, then maybe hopefully you live past 19, a few more
You're
years. But
right.
I tell you what, category 3 going right through the Tampa area, and I know he's south of that somewhere. And so it's Gene, I'm giving a shout out to you, buddy. I give a shout out to you in the beginning of this live stream / podcast. Yeah.
Gene is always in these streams, man. I love him to death. He always brings good comments too.
Yeah, he's a great fan. I really appreciate him. And so yeah, and I don't know. I like ownership of vehicles. It's always a game we play though, whether you make money, lose money. A lot of times we lose money, but
Yeah.
in the end of the day, we have videos that come up with that difference we lost, and we get more experiences, and the channel grows. It's running a business, really. That's what comes down to.
Well, the car, I will be honest, the car today for me has been huge for my channel. I'm the
Yeah,
only
you have a
one
good
right
day.
now. I was one of the very first. I was the first one in Tennessee to get this car. And of course I flew to Michigan to do it. Like, you know, the game, Tim, you got to go close to the source, man. That's like, I'm assuming that's why when you bought your Tundra, you were in Texas.
Yep.
You got to get as close as you can to the factories. And so we flew up to Brighton Ford and with intent of, you know, buying it. And that's the same way. I have a Ranger Raptor on order, and it's the same reason I went as close as I could get to the plant.
And YouTube, as people have told me, and I've learned over the years, it's a contest.
Yeah, it is.
You know, if you're 2 days late on that Mustang coverage, you might as well forget it. You know, it's just the way. Yeah, it's like take the news media thing, the 24 hours news all the time, right? And amplify that by 10, and that's YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, you know, we're so most people, you know, like there's a lot of just people having fun with YouTube channels and stuff, and that's there's nothing wrong with that, and they're excited about their car, they want to talk about it. But for like what me and you do, definitely, like, and then think about this: who most people go into a job going, oh, I'm going to make 60,000 to 100,000 a year, whatever you're going to make. Now I have to go spend $60,000 on a vehicle to make. Trust me, there's no $60,000 return on that vehicle.
No, I mean, yeah, I break. I mean, I lose money most years, but with the tax savings and the videos, I mean, it's a net bonus for the business. But yeah, it's not a moneymaker.
Yeah,
unless you flipped it right away, you bought it and flipped it right away, or whatever, really hot car.
Well, I think Ford would not be happy with me if I did that. The deal I got on this.
Yeah, no, I there's a couple of journalists I know that actually flip vehicles. That's part of their job. I just find it unethical. Is my
that's you know, I put that in the Scotty whatever his name is category of I'll start waving my arms around and acting crazy.
We'll get like 17 hate comments because we said that.
Dude, I've got a Nissan. So Tim, I have a Nissan video where I was doing commentary on one of Scotty's videos. He loves to pick on Nissan, and of course I had a Nissan channel, and he was picking on the old Nissan Xterra. And it was obvious in the video early on, only because I'm such a diehard Nissan fan. It was obvious to me he had no freaking clue of what he was talking about. He was just, you know, waving his hands, and Nissan's garbage. Because that's easy, especially for journalists. If you want low-hanging fruit, you can just pluck the apple from the Nissan tree every once in a while and go, bam. And then you know, you get a couple views and you move on. But yeah, I still to this day, and I dropped that video 3 years ago, I still get so much hate comments from that video.
Yeah, I don't say the Scotty Kilmer word. I don't say Scotty K because he has a rabid fan base, and I don't even go there.
Yeah. Crazy uncle fan base. I love it.
So talking about Nissan, the Canton, Mississippi plant is not the one you worked at. You worked in Franklin, Tennessee.
I worked at Smyrna. Yeah.
Yes, but the Canton plant, if I recall, they build 5 different vehicles there.
Well, depending now, I mean, Nissan's killing half of they're revamping that plant to actually an EV plant. So when I worked for Nissan, we had a car line and a truck line. So I built Frontiers, Xteras, and Pathfinders that was my part of the line. And then they built Altima, Maxima, Leaf, and something else. But they moved the trucks to Canton because they were going to, this will be our truck plant. And they were doing the NV vans. I don't remember those. They were building those down there. Which gave way. That's how Nissan was able to do the heavy duty truck, was because it was just the NV van framing. It was like, well, that's low hanging fruit. We'll just throw a truck bed on and do it that way. But they've done away with the van. Now the Titan, we know they say next summer it's supposed to go away, but you don't announce this now.
Yeah.
And you've killed sales. I've had so many people commenting or email me, like, because they know I'm a kind of a fanboy of the brand, going, hey, should I buy one of these things? And I'm like, hey, dude, it's an honest truck. If you want, now it's about a 10-year-old feeling truck as far as the tech of it, but some people don't want to change and they don't want to go into all this. And I think it's a great truck. But yeah, so they were building some Altima down there as well. Some, like, I think it was rental car Altimas, but now they're all in on switching that plant over to EV.
So from your standpoint, I know I've been in the industry longer than you have, but from your standpoint, is that a smart move?
Well, I mean, you know, I think we're kind of on the same page with EV. You know, I'm not anti-EV. I just don't think it's for trucks. It's not ready, and it's not even close to being ready. I think what maybe Ram has coming with their little sort of generator system, however their range extender they're talking about doing, we don't have any idea. But yeah, 500 miles, if you can get, you know, that's perfect world miles. If you can get 350, 375 of actual use mileage, I'm good with that. But, Nissan wants to build a small truck. They want to build something like the probably a Maverick-like truck, but they want to
It
do an
makes
EV
sense, right?
version of that.
Nissan hard body used to be a
Yeah.
big thing. Why not build a competitor?
Yeah, well, when I worked for Nissan, they would have loved to bring the hard body back. I talked to engineers because engineers were great. They would come through the plant. They would ask, they wanted your feedback on, what's as far as manufacturing, what's working, what's not. And they would kind of give you some insight to what was going on. And they would build the hard body today if it would meet crash test standards. Because,
Yeah,
Tim, I had a hard body. The damn thing would get like 28 miles per gallon.
I know. Same
They didn't
deal.
weigh like 2 grand. Like it was light
Right.
as can be, a good 4-cylinder, and it was a great little truck.
Yeah. No. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go ask your comments about this because
Yeah.
I'm curious. Troy Stuckey wants to know any idea what changes Ford has for new power boost. It is rumored to be getting update this year. News coming from Detroit Auto Show. Yes, and I'll be there in person for that. It is going to come out. There's rumors are new power boost. Rumors are new F-150. It's kind of back and forth. Ford's a little bit cat and mouse, which is fine. But
I think we've seen the F-150 enough to know.
right. I had a power boost. I thought it was great. I don't know
Yeah.
what they could do to make that better,
That thing
except for
took off.
better fuel economy.
I wish Ford would release, and I wish all manufacturers would release a subcategory of sales. So you knew about hybrids. Because they mix it all in together. Yeah, it's the best-selling truck ever. Well, how many of that do you sell? I mean, I know you love that truck.
Yeah, I had a great time with the truck.
And I liked watching your videos on that truck, but I don't hear anybody talking about power boost anymore. I don't know why.
I don't. Yeah, it's fascinating to me because people have said when I had a power boost. If you don't know, the power boost is the F-150. It's a F-150 as a hybrid system. It has a battery on board. It's got a uses battery power on board. It's 7.2 kilowatts of battery power hooked to a hybrid system. The transmission's incorporated in that too. And I had a great time with that truck. I had a lot of good uses for that truck. And I'm surprised because when people said, "Oh, it's got power on board like generator," I'm like, yes, 7.2 kilowatts. Yes. How great would that be to tow your fifth wheel camper to some spot and then hook it up and run the camper? I'm like, fantastic. So the new Ford Super Duty came out and they went with not 7.2, they went with a 2.0 kilowatts of power. And people were like, what the hell? I'm like, well, at least you got 2 kilowatts of power. Certain brands like Tundra decide not to give you any power at all. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think this whole movement towards overland, living off the grid situations, that having power on board, especially from the hybrid F-150 that ran so quietly, you didn't even know it was running, and you didn't have to worry about extra fuel for the generator. Haul this 200-pound generator around. I mean, it made a lot of sense, and I don't know why it's not getting more play.
Well, I know Ford, there's some internal stuff going on where you might actually, I think with the show this year, you're going to see them relaunch their power boost stuff. What I'm kind of hearing is I think they're going to announce that the Ranger's getting it. I think Bronco, you're going to see Bronco get the same kind of setup. And I was in when we were at the Ranger launch. You can tell they've got the rear of that vehicle is ready for there's a spot for a battery.
Yeah.
Under the rear seats, there's nothing there. It's hollow. It's just ready. It's just ready for a battery. I think with that's where the money is with a hybrid, the little trucks. And I'm excited to see what, I know you want to work with Toyota and try to get a truck early. That's where I think hybrid really, that's where we're going to see the benefits of that, man. Can you imagine? Because there's rumors going around that the truck could get 30 miles per gallon.
There's conversation about Tacoma getting 30 miles per gallon. I speculated on that about a year and a half ago, and the post's done really well. Should have a video on it. Rub the chin on that one. Anyways,
see why he brings me on. I just sparked some things for him.
So it's interesting. I think it comes down to the differences in engineering. What I want to in engineering and vehicle purpose. So the Tundra hybrid was built to be more like a diesel. The Tacoma, you don't have that same need.
Yeah, you're not towing a fifth wheel.
The customer's not, right, with Tacoma. If they are, well, it's
I've seen your Instagram. People do
it. Right? It's some thing. But it's like one of those situations where it's like, you know what? If they did so flat out, the RAV4 Prime is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. If they did a philosophy like that, or like the Toyota Sienna, the minivan, 32 miles per gallon in a minivan, right? So the Tacoma could do it. Toyota has technology to do it. The question comes down to whether Sheldon Brown made that his focus. And I asked him 7 ways since Sunday to get information on that. And it was all, it's embargoed. It's embargoed to confidential because
Yeah.
they can't release it yet because
Yeah.
Toyota can't release numbers until EPA certifies numbers. The EPA is the government, and if you work with the government at all, you might as well just sit back and relax and take you about 6 months to come out. So Toyota is handcuffed to say anything because they just can't. And yes.
So Randy Vest, I'm curious on you on this, Tim, and I'm curious about your audience on it. So Randy Vest says plug-in hybrids are the future for now. I do not get the fascination with a plug-in hybrid at all. I don't understand it. I've had EVs that are pain in the ass to charge at my house. I don't understand why people think it's cool to plug it into your wall at home, because it's probably a 115 you're plugging in. It's going to take 8 hours. Which isn't bad really, but you're very limited with range in trucks. I've seen this because I watch the forums, and I've seen a lot of people, especially in the Toyota truck forums, because they're speculating what might come.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be a plug-in hybrid. We need this. And I'm like, I don't get it, man. Like Toyota, for one, with the Prius, how long have they had that technology? And I've never heard anybody go, man, if they could only plug in this Prius, it would be much better. I would rather it generate its own power and operate that than having to worry about the grid being down. And then, I've just got this weak, 4-cylinder truck, and not dogging that particular truck, but just in general, they put small displacement engines in that kind of stuff. I'm just not getting it. I think Jeep sells a lot of 4xe right now, but there's a lot of them that are going right to the used market as well, that people realize, I guarantee you 90% of the people that buy a plug-in hybrid, say a truck that would come out, you would never see it plugged in.
There's a lot that you just said right there. And I will tell you,
Sorry, there's a lot to unpack.
I'm pausing for a moment. I will tell you that Jill, if she was here, she would argue with you all day long, because
Jill's going to argue no matter what.
Right. But in her daily driving in Chicago, I've been to her neighborhood. I've had lunch, dinner at the restaurants that she goes to. She's right. In her daily life, she never uses gas.
Right.
She drives EV only. My concern with a plug-in hybrid system is 2 things: cost, because they are infinitely higher in cost, and B, payload. I've done the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. I lost like 400 pounds of payload by doing the hybrid system, because the batteries are heavy.
Yeah,
batteries are heavy. There's no argument. The batteries are going to be heavy. There's no argument there. You can't say that EVs are going to be light, whatever. I mean, the Hummer EV is a tank. It's such an absurd waste of energy.
Well, did you see there's come out the SUV Hummer now is like the worst electric vehicle ever as far as economy. Like there's a report that came out that is just massively awful, and it was by one of the big, I want to say one of the big magazine outlets.
Yeah, I was at the Woodward Dream Cruise, and there's a couple Hummers driving around, and I will tell you that my thought process of Hummers changed from being, oh, that's cool, crab walk, watch our freedom mode, kind of stuff. Now thinking to myself, like, what a gigantic waste of resources.
Yes.
We get to divide that battery of Hummer 4 ways and have 4 vehicles that get better fuel economy and less emissions than Hummer does.
Well, why in the world was GM so set when GM had really no battery tech to call their own? I know they did the little Volt, but that was somebody else's batteries they were using. Why are they have such a, pardon my French, a hard on for this Ultium platform they're using? Because it makes the vehicles taller, so instantly if they're higher, they're less aerodynamic, no matter how you shape them. If you look at, like, especially the Hummer, the battery pack, Tim, is probably almost 1.5 feet tall. Yeah. And because they want to stack them side by side instead of laying down. And I don't know everything about that, but GM, for some reason, are like, no, we're going to do it our own way. When every other manufacturer, including Tesla, is like, no, this is kind of the way to do it. GM spending billions. They have how many launches they're supposed to do? With the Blazer they launched this past year. Right. I haven't seen any of them.
The Blazer is being shipped dealerships at like 20 grand over what they hoped it was going to be.
Right. Equinox, and then they killed off.
There's no way. Equinox.
They killed off the entry level. Didn't they kill off the entry level before it got shipped?
It's done.
Yeah.
And the Silverado EV work truck, I drove one. It was fun. It was good. It was what a work truck should be. It's too damn expensive.
Yes.
The RST I have deposit on, It's gonna be $100,000 by the time I buy it.
Oh, I canceled mine.
I'm gonna
Well, that was
cancel.
22 or late 21, 22, somewhere in there where me and you put deposits on those things.
Yeah,
And
it
yet
doesn't
haven't
work.
got, you know why I canceled mine? Because I will say with the Ford Bronco BS that I had to go through to get one of those, Ford was pretty good about communications. You may not like their communications, but they would periodically say, "Hey, we're trying, sorry." They send you a lame little gift, but
Yeah,
at least you felt like, okay, the company is they're responding to the fact they can't do what they promised. GM, I never got anything from them. My local dealership would every like 30 days or so go, "Hey, hadn't heard anything. Jim hadn't told us anything." And I just got tired of waiting. I was like, and I think it's a cool vehicle. And I'm not bashing GM to bash GM because there's a lot of things they do that I like, man. I'm a big fan of the current Silverado. I like the Vet. I mean, they have some things that are fun, but I feel like they, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's leadership or what, they went, we're going to go all in. Oh, because, they usually follow Ford. When Ford does something, like Ford killed off the cars, what was it, like a month later, GM's like, you know what? We killed off cars. And then Ram's like, or Stellantis is like, wait, do we still make a car? I think, wait, we're going to kill it if we do. We're going to follow along. Like everybody follows Ford. So I think this was GM's way of going, you know what? We're going to one up you, Ford. And I think they're going to pay for it.
yeah. No, I agree. It seems I have had some numerous problems with GM's leadership, and I don't want to say anything because I get an email in the morning if I say this person, that person, whatever. But
Yeah.
I will tell you that I have some really strong concerns about the top half of leadership. That I just don't.
And I think it's okay to express that. I mean, we're not.
Right. I don't want to get. I don't want to call somebody out because I don't know all the details. But if you look at a track record and some of these things, the track record of GM in the past 5 years.
What's the major launch of the past 2 or 3 years that they've had that was successful? Vet. And the Vet has its own complete team. It's its own. Right. They don't mess with it. Silverado was embarrassing. They launched the Silverado. They took it out to that hockey arena and it broke down at the hockey arena. Like it was a lot of black eyes. They wouldn't start when they drove it out there.
Right. And the interior was terrible. I mean, the Hummer is such a waste of such bad direction. I can't believe it. Equinox EV, Blazer EV, poorly executed as far as marketing standpoint. I don't know why GM seats keep bruising my butt. I don't know that one either. I mean, it's incredible to me.
I think they particularly send you something. Oh, it's Esterdahl's turn to get this. Sending the one with the bad seats.
To me, the Princess and the P, they put a P in the seat somewhere. I don't understand that one at all.
Guys, I grew up in a GM household, so I'm not. I'm
a GM brat. Yeah.
I might punch with love. Like I want to see that company. I want to see them kick Ford's ass, and I keep buying Ford products because I feel like out of the big three right now, they're the only one that responds quickly to market changes.
They do,
and they do it in a fun way.
Yeah, I mean the GMC and sorry, I was going to put up on the live stream. I didn't get to, or the podcast, whatever you're doing. If you listen to this in a way, is the GMC Jimmy SUV would have had a V8.
Mm-hmm.
Little Jimmy. Yeah. I mean, I just it makes me wonder what's going on over there because even I tried to buy vehicles, and the Chevy Colorado, they have to get factory the convenience package 2 to get heated steering wheel.
Now they're changing, right? They're changing this fall. They've already changed something. I read a report the other day. I can't remember what it was, but the Colorado, they're already adapted.
Yeah,
they're like,
the Trail Boss is gone because it was stupid anyways. Because EV was going to do the Bison, so why they just punted it for a year and they got rid of the mid-tune. Mid-tune was stupid. Like, so it was 30 or 40 extra pound-feet of torque for like $500 dealership.
Yeah.
Like GMC Canyon offers through all across all the lineup. GMC Canyon has that, and my brother's Canyon is back in the shop again.
Well, I watched Savage Geese did a really good thing on the Colorado where they went and talked to the engine designers and stuff. And whether you like those guys or not from Chicago, they do really good when they do a documentary on a vehicle. It's very excellent done. And to even hear the kind of what I'm going to call BS, it may not be, but the reasoning behind why they only do a 4-cylinder in that thing and how proud they were of how much that engine can handle. And I'm like, look, man, GM and once again, I like the company. It's with love. I say this is they're torn between two lovers. They've got the PR side that wants to be all EV because that's the hip, fun thing to do. And then you've got the actually sensible side of GM that's not allowed to do what they want to do because this side over here is pulling too much resources away from what they can do. And it kind of stinks because Silverado is as American pie as any other truck out there. You think of a Chevy truck, what American Pie talks about the Chevys, like it's such an
Baseball,
iconic
F-150
brand.
Yeah.
And for them to kind of be lost, and Rams just going, they're that meme behind the dude behind that tree just doing that thing because they keep slowly gaining market share away from GM's not getting it from Ford. Rams taking away from General Motors.
So the thing that sticks in my head is my dad told me years ago that the car guys at GM won, the truck guys lost. Mm-hmm. And when I think of GM, I think that is just so appropriate. Because I remember being when the Tahoe got revealed and the Suburban got revealed, and Mark Royce is on stage going, "Oh yeah, the Tahoe's going to come in a diesel," and we all stood up and clapped. And Mark Royce goes, "Oh yeah." I'm like, how clueless are you? Like, I mean, a family hauler that gets exceptional fuel economy that can tow well and a diesel, that's Tahoe and Suburban written all over it.
I feel sorry for Diesel Guy, though. Diesel Guy begged for years and years and years. In the 80s, you had some diesel options, but they were just awful diesel options. Like, it was a rattly, just motor was going to leak illegal. And finally, the guys all through the early 2000s are like, diesel, 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 and especially with the off-road crowd kind of jumping in, pushing for that. By the time GM finally brings diesel to the market's flipped. Poor timing on their part. And now it's all of this environmental stuff, which once again, I'm not against environmental, doing everything cleaner, better, but now they bring out a diesel and now they have to kill about everything because it's like, oh, it's, diesel. Yeah. It's not the most, environmentally friendly, but it's not completely awful either. For whatever reason, that coal crowd makes diesel look bad.
I've had a hell of a time with my diesel content. So I bought the Silverado diesel, Duramax 3-liter. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't get the clicks, and people don't want to discuss it. It's really interesting how it's happening. Like the Silverado, if you guys don't know, I bought the F-150 Power Boost. I bought the Silverado 1500 Duramax diesel, but in between time, I bought the Toyota Tundra. And I will tell you, the Toyota Tundra is kicking the shit out of the other vehicles as far as views. And so it's what it is. I didn't mean to cuss there. I didn't. All right, great.
Gene had a comment early up. I'm just trying to read it now. He was asking talk about Nissan's marketing.
Right. I would still have Elliot's comment here. GM is so fascinating. I've never seen a company sell so many vehicles, make so much money, and yet get so much criticism.
Yeah. Well, they bring it on themselves a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, it's So I thought Cybertruck comment here was pretty spot on. The Hummer EV is just engineering laziness embodified.
And, well, low-hanging fruit. With the Hummers, even though, yes, the H2 was a gas-guzzling fool in a time when gas was cheap. That poor little company that sub-brand had it coming around. The little truck, the little what was it, HT3 or something, whatever the truck version of was. Now is a Gladiator.
Right? Yeah.
They had it now would be great. The little SUV, the H3 was awesome. And then what would have saved that company more than anything, they had a Wrangler battling, what do they call that? The HT something. Doors came off. It looked like a modern version of a Wrangler. They had that company set. And then of course the collapse kind of killed that poor brand.
Yeah, no, I agree. And there's some deactivation issues. I don't know. It's I love and hate GM. I love and hate Ford. Ram. My God, finally, new Ram truck next year.
Yes, finally.
And Tim Kaniskis, who I met at different auto shows, whatever. I haven't talked to him very much in person. New Ram CEO, also the Dodge CEO. He's like, well, people shop trucks and muscle cars, so we're the same audience.
Well, nobody's shopping muscle cars. Let's be honest. I bought a Mustang, which is the last kind of muscle car, and obviously Ford. It has so much pizzazz. Ford wanted to put it on an EV. But nobody till they announced they were killing off the Chargers was buying those.
Yeah.
So nobody's buying muscle cars.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting the way his comment was. Food Bar Medic, which I love the name. Screen name, by the way.
He's been on our Saturday conversations.
This is a good conversation for you there, Nissan boy. Do you think Nissan is permanently getting rid of the Titan, or will they resurrect it in a couple of years?
No, I don't think Nissan wants anything to do with full-size trucks. I really do. I think they went in with the best intentions, and had they been able to pluck a couple young engineers away from some of the big 3 brands to kinda help shape that truck, which they tried to do. What was it? Fred Diaz, I think,
Yeah.
came from
Yeah.
Ram. They didn't let him do anything. He, like, went into that vehicle, though, and told him, "Hey, you can't do this, you can't do this," which is part of why the truck was delayed coming out till 16. They made some changes. I think Nissan, in their weirdness, decided to make a hybrid of a Ram slash F-150. It I get it, copy what was leading, but they don't know that market. They don't want to know that market. Japan, like Nissan, I think you know Toyota better than I do. I think Toyota's willing to adapt to give the American side a little bit more leeway. Nissan Japan, there is no leeway. They approve everything. There's
Yeah.
a truck side
Yeah.
to Nissan here, but guess what? They don't have much say in what
Yeah.
happens. So I don't
No,
think no, I don't think they want any part of full size trucks. They're expensive to build too. Let's be honest.
I would agree. So here's a question for you. So you have not been as part of this live stream in the past, but Gene says, "I will say I love what Tim has been doing to his Silverado mod wise." You've
Oh,
seen
I've
the
paid
videos,
attention a little bit. I've paid attention to what you've
right?
done.
Right. So what do you think? Am I doing too much? Am I doing too little?
Well, depends. I mean, depends. My channel is. I'm kind of a weird hybrid of trying to do journalism plus have fun with vehicles. And so this is new for you of kind of taking a vehicle after you've gotten out of what you need to in stock form and having fun with it. I kind of like it. I think it's the wrong vehicle. I'm not crapping on it because you've done some really cool stuff to that vehicle. I think uh, it's the diesel, or yeah, you have a diesel, right? It's
Yeah.
the 3 liter. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a weird market. The bumper looks great on that thing. Did you drop a video from Woodward yet?
I have not. I have to do one more thing so I can drop a video.
I'm curious of how that truck did because you towed Sweet out there. That's fun.
It
But
was
I
it
know
was
I kind of
2,200
know your
miles of
plans.
towing. Oof.
Yeah, I kind of know your plans to get. You have to get rid of them at some point, and
Mhm.
that's me for this Mustang. The mod bug, once it bites you, Tim, you always want to make something better, make it personalize it. So you're in trouble now. But the problem is when you
Thank
have
you for
a
the warning,
vehicle.
Dave.
No, but when you have a vehicle that has to disappear, it's like because I'm already thinking with the Mustang, I'm like, I could put new wheels on it, try to get some extra horsepower out of it. But I'm like, no, just leave it alone. Just leave
Do
it
you
alone.
watch the vlog guy?
A little bit.
Yeah. So I thought about doing a video just kind of the way he does videos and
He's
just
from
like taking my
Pennsylvania, if I
hat and
remember.
putting over my face and be like, I just sold the best F-150, my best truck ever, right? It just
Yeah,
sold my best truck ever, right?
yeah.
My full size truck. So I thought about doing that because it's the same idea with that truck. I'm going to sell it and it's going to be like, damn it. Like I really enjoy everything about that truck except, a few minor things, but um yes. And you have to sell it. It's part of the business. I wish I could keep it. It's
Yeah.
not the case.
Well, somebody's gonna get a really cool truck, I can say that.
Mm. So, Fubar says maybe Tim should get a couple of base model trucks and then mod them. So, Fubar, and by the way, I zoom in my eyeballs. Thank you for your service. So yeah, I do have some. I have some plans about that. Yeah, and so the problem with Tyler says problem with most aftermarket mods is you don't really get your money back out of it.
Yeah.
People are like, Tim, you got all these free parts. I'm like, yes, but it cost me time, effort, money to put these parts on. Like it was not
Yeah.
cheap.
What,
The
the
oil
bumper you
pan
had
was
powder
$800.
coated? Yeah, the bumper you had powder coated and
Right. So it takes, it's like, and then the emails back and forth, the shipping, and it's a lot of going on. So,
well, and
um,
you trust me, people, you work for these parts. Like there's my Bronco, I get a lot of stuff sent to me, in return for mentioning it sometimes or just showcasing the product when we're out on the trails or something. That's a job in itself.
yeah,
And if you think it's not, a lot of the overland guys, they just beg for free parts and they do one picture of it and think, well, I paid them off. No, no, if you want to, it's a partnership between companies. And speaking of which, I was in East Tennessee last week at a Bronco event and Rough Country was there. And I mentioned your name and they said hello.
oh, well, hello, the Rough Country guys. I enjoy their products and I would be hooking with them more often. I've opened Pandora's box on F Market Mods and I'm not sure I can shut the box.
Yep, I'm telling you, it's bit, but it's a fun path to go down, and I think for you because you do the Everman. We're kind of the Everman guys of we just love trucks. I think it's a natural path for you as well. I think people want to see because I see my neighbors got Harleys, they've got F-250s where they tow these Harleys everywhere. They're all modified, so people want to see what you'll do.
It's a consistent thing. So, unfortunately, the whiskey glass is empty, which means the time's out of place. That's my $10 glass. And you're going to find it for your live stream. So I'm going to let you go because then you get the details and ready to go for that. And you have to turn your hat around because that's important on live streams. So there you go. Find Dave, Alternate Nation. I'll put a link down below. As always, thanks for watching. Check out the live stream and the podcast. Doing a little bit different one. I drove a lot of time and I listened to a lot of different podcasts. So if you like the podcast, thank you very much. And send me an email. Tim@pickuptrucktalk.com. He's either good. Dave, thanks for joining me.
Of course.
Of course. All right, guys. We will see you down the road.